What if the government didn't just control your life, but also your memories? What if every camera you passed was watching, every word you said could be held against you, and even your thoughts could get you arrested? Welcome to 1984, a world where freedom is illegal, truth is what the government says it is, and independent thinking is the most dangerous crime of all. Welcome to Speed Reads, your escape into epic stories, strange worlds, and unforgettable characters. In today's episode, we're diving into George Orwell's legendary dystopian novel 1984. This book isn't just famous, it's foundational. It shaped the way we think about surveillance, censorship, and the abuse of power. Whether you've read it before or just want to know what all the fuss is about, stick around. You're in for a powerful, eerie ride. 1984 was written by George Orwell, a British writer, journalist, and critic whose real name was Eric Arthur Blair. Orwell had a unique ability to blend sharp political commentary with gripping storytelling. Born in 1903 and writing during the rise of fascism and communism, Orwell was deeply concerned about the ways in which governments could manipulate truth, erase history, and control people through fear and propaganda. 1984, published in 1949, was his final novel, completed just before his death in 1950. It was Orwell's warning to the world, a powerful message about what the future might look like if authoritarian regimes were left unchecked. Although it's a work of fiction, 1984 reads like a prophecy, and in many ways, the world it describes doesn't feel all that far away. Set in a dystopian version of the future, 1984 introduces us to Winston Smith, a quiet, thoughtful man living in Airstrip 1, a province of the superstate Oceania. The government, known only as the Party, rules with an iron grip. It controls not just the people's actions, but their memories, thoughts, and even language. At the top of this system is Big Brother, the ever-present, all-knowing leader. His image is everywhere. His eyes are always watching. But does Big Brother even exist? That's just one of the many mysteries of this world. Winston works at the Ministry of Truth, where his job is to rewrite historical records to match the current party narrative. If the party changes its story about a war or a political figure, Winston edits the documents so that it appears as if the party was always right. The past is whatever the party says it is. But Winston is starting to question things. He remembers a time before the party took control. He dreams of freedom, truth, and even love. All things forbidden in his world. He secretly begins to write in a diary, an act that could get him killed. Because in this society, even your thoughts are not safe. What follows is a slow-burning psychological story of rebellion, danger, and the terrifying power of a government that seeks total control, not just over people's lives, but over reality itself. Key themes. 1984 is packed with deep, thought-provoking themes. Let's break down a few of the most powerful, spoiler-free, totalitarianism. Orwell paints a picture of a world where the government has total control over what people do, say, and even believe. There are no elections, no freedom of speech, and no way to challenge authority. It's a warning about what happens when power becomes absolute. Surveillance. The party watches everything. Telescreens are everywhere. In homes, on streets, even in workplaces. People are afraid to speak, to think, or to trust each other. The idea that Big Brother is watching you has become a symbol of modern surveillance societies around the world. Language as control, Newspeak. One of Orwell's most genius inventions is Newspeak, a simplified version of English designed to limit how people think. If you don't have the words to describe freedom or rebellion, how can you ever fight for it? It's a terrifying idea. Control the language and you control the mind. Manipulation of truth. In 1984, the past is constantly rewritten to match the party's version of events. If they say 2 + 2 = 5, then that becomes the truth. This concept of doublethink, believing two contradictory things at once, shows how reality can be bent when people give up critical thinking. Individual versus state. Winston represents the struggle of the individual against a powerful system. His quiet acts of rebellion are not just political, they're deeply human. The desire to love, to remember, to feel. These are acts of resistance in a world designed to crush the spirit. Here are some fascinating facts and features that make 1984 such a unique reading experience. The book gave us terms like Big Brother, Thoughtcrime, doublethink, and Newspeak, phrases that are still used in politics, media, and pop culture today. Orwell's vision of technology was surprisingly accurate. The telescreens in 1984 act like modern-day smart devices, watching, listening, collecting data. The novel's structure is also important. It starts slow and builds tension gradually, pulling the reader deeper into the logic of the party before pulling the rug out from under you. The love story in 1984 is raw and tragic, not romantic in the traditional sense, but deeply symbolic of human resistance. The title 1984 was chosen by flipping the year Orwell completed the book, 1948. This wasn't about a distant sci-fi future. It was meant to be a warning about the very near future. If you're someone who enjoys thought-provoking fiction, 1984 is essential reading. Love dystopian stories like The Hunger Games, Fahrenheit 451, or Black Mirror. 1984 is the original blueprint. Interested in politics, philosophy, or history? Orwell's ideas are deeply tied to real-world regimes and political theory. Want to read something that feels relevant to today's world of social media, fake news, and surveillance technology? You'll find 1984 shockingly current. This book isn't just a story, it's an experience, one that makes you reflect on the world around you, question authority, and think deeply about what it means to be free. It's intense, it's brilliant, and it will stay with you long after you finish the last page. So, what are your thoughts on 1984? Have you read it? Did it shake you up like it did me? Or are you planning to dive into it soon? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Speed Reads, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode. This channel is all about bringing you the most epic stories, strange worlds, and unforgettable characters. And 1984 checks every box. Welcome to Speed Reads, your escape into epic stories, strange worlds, and unforgettable characters. Thanks for watching, and remember, the truth matters, freedom matters, and stories like this help us keep both alive. Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and stay free.